Concrete Genie is only the second game from developer Pixelopus following 2014's Entwined, and it's a massive step forward for the studio, both in terms of scope and quality. Concrete Genie is one of 2019's most original and charming games. Concrete Genie's story and world are captivating, dealing with topics that range from bullying to environmental disasters. In Concrete Genie, you play as Ash, a boy who loves art, in particular painting creatures he calls genies. Ash also has a strong connection to the town of Denska, a once thriving fishing town that is now abandoned and in a state of disarray following an oil spill. The game opens with Ash's sketchbook being destroyed by a group of bullies, leaving the pages scattered across Denska. Ash is then pushed into a cable car by the bullies, which leads him to Denska's lighthouse. Inside, he witnesses one of the genies he's drawn come to life. This genie then leads him to a magical paintbrush that allows him to create more genies and paint the town of Denska back to life. Overall, I really enjoyed the story of Concrete Genie, and I found the conclusion surprisingly powerful and well earned. The genies themselves are very endearing. There are a lot of ways to customise them and to make them your own, and they have a lot of personality. They are also integral to the gameplay of Concrete Genie, as they can often interact with the environment, which allows them to assist in solving puzzles you'll come across. The main way you progress the game is by painting the walls of Denska. When you paint a certain amount of required walls in an area, you'll be able to get started on that area's masterpiece. The masterpiece gives you a giant blank canvas to paint however you'd like, and while the initial selection of things you can paint is limited, your options continue to grow over the course of the game. When you find one of the pages of Ash's sketchbook that is scattered across the world, you'll be given a new object to incorporate into your artwork. Speaking of things you collect, there are also newspapers in the game. These give you more glimpses into the tragic history of Denska. It's always great to see a game use its collectibles as a meaningful way to expand on the lore. Concrete Genie's visuals are also exceptional, whether it's the bright and vibrant colour palette you use to paint or the stop motion looking cutscenes. Concrete Genie never fails to be visually interesting, and the music in the game really complements the tone of the world. There are a couple of shortcomings for Concrete Genie though. Firstly, the painting takes a bit of getting used to. You can either paint using the DualShock's motion controls or by using the right stick, neither of which feel particularly intuitive at first. I'd recommend using the motion controls to paint, as over time I grew to find these much smoother, whereas using the right stick never felt natural. But with either option, the controls will never feel 100% precise when trying to make small tweaks to the paintings or genies. My second gripe with Concrete Genie is its stealth mechanics. During certain sections, you'll have to avoid the bullies from earlier. These parts feel unnecessary. They're not tough enough to present any real challenge, so they end up feeling more like a minor inconvenience than anything else. Something that could have easily gone wrong in Concrete Genie, but is actually surprisingly good, are the new mechanics introduced right towards the end. I won't get too deep into it because I don't want to spoil things, but Concrete Genie introduces some combat mechanics later in the game. Introducing new mechanics in the tail end of a game is a risky move, as they can easily end up feeling shoehorned in. But in Concrete Genie, they're actually well thought out and provide a satisfying payoff, though combat really could have been improved with a lock-on feature. Concrete Genie is one of the PS4's most unique and heartwarming games. A few minor issues prevent it from being among the true top tier of games on the platform, but it's still a great game in its own right. If you're looking to try something new and different, I can't recommend Concrete Genie enough. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to like and subscribe to see more reviews in the future.